Preston lies in the heart of Lancashire and aspires to become the third city of the North West. Preston was granted city status in 2002. We currently have a diverse population of around 135,000. Preston City Council started its first neighbourhood management partnership in 2003. The partnerships operate in defined areas which have experienced high levels of deprivation. These areas require a special focus from the local authority and services. The aim is to establish a dialogue with local residents and to solve issues and make improvements by working together.
Neighbourhood management is a partnership of service providers, local residents that work together to improve services in their neighbourhood. It very much depends on resident involvement. It's about empowering local residents, it's working with local councillors, it's having a defined action plan of what you want to achieve, and it's having a champion for that area in terms of either a community involvement worker or a neighbourhood manager, somebody to coordinate all them activities. We find out what the needs are in a specific area through lots of work with the local community. So our residents groups tell us what they think the issues are. Our community involvement workers and myself will go to local PAC meetings, police and community together meetings, to obtain feedback from the community. We do surveys of residents, we have street representatives in an area, and it's a constant chain of information, but that's all fed into the Strategic Neighbourhood Management Board, who pull together a real meaningful action plan for that area, and the action plan is based on what local residents tell us. But one thing I would say is the action plan is changing constantly as the needs of the area change, and it's really about setting strategic objectives and themes of change like environment, safety, health, young people and general community involvement.
Preston has 4 neighbourhood management partnerships. One Voice for the wards of Brookfield and Ribbleton, Impact covers Ingle and Tanterton, Unity FM covers the wards of Fishwick and St Matthews, and Prime Focus covers the St George's, Deepdale and Town Centre wards. These areas were carefully chosen with reference to the Index of Multiple Deprivation, which combines a number of indicators such as income, employment, health, housing and crime. Neighbourhood management supports community involvement by organising activities and events, such as the Autumn Back Alley Parties, an initiative designed to encourage residents to take pride in these communal spaces. Intensive neighbourhood working means establishing relationships with all the mainstream services. The Britain in Bloom Awards show what can be achieved through resident services and charities working in partnership. Preston received 62 neighbourhood awards in 2010. Neighbourhood management also takes the lead in managing multi-agency events for young people. Over the summer of 2010, Neighbourhood management worked in partnership with Preston City Council's Sports Development Department and and Young People Services from Lancashire County Council to engage with over 800 young people in a series of large events throughout Preston.
The big plus for us in Lancashire Wildlife Trust in working with Impact, England, Tanterton and the other neighbourhood management agencies in Preston means that we can achieve goals on sites that we wouldn't otherwise have access to, and we can work with hard to reach members of the community, and from the point of view of the neighbourhood management people, they're in a position to tap into our skills base and expertise and our volunteer base to achieve goals on sites that they wouldn't otherwise get to achieve. So at relatively low cost, it's a win for neighbourhood management and it's a win for us in Lancashire Wildlife Trust.
The introduction of neighbourhood management within Preston has been a big bonus for us as the place. We see them as partners that we work with and we get a lot done with them, and as you can see, they're more than welcome to come and use our facilities we've got here and be based in the village, which is important for us and important for the management team as well.
Neighbourhood management through its structure shows a commitment to partnership in neighbourhood working. Each partnership board has a number of local residents elected by the community and the councillors who represent the area. They are joined by service representatives who have responsibilities in the area, and the community groups, charities and facilities who have a vested interest in their neighbourhood. Action groups have also been set up in each area, and they are based on the main themes of community concern.
The aim of these groups is for all service providers to sit around the table who have a relevant interest in this theme and to tackle issues and to look at ways of working together. For example, the Youth Action Group will look at giving young people a voice, look at activities for young people in the area, get the young people involved in things like artwork and how they would like their playground to be.
As part of my role in neighbourhood management, I've been involved in youth engagement. Youth engagement on every consultation we've ever done in neighbourhood management has been one of the highest priorities. As a result of that, we've tried to engage with children and young people services, voluntary, statutory services, as well as children and young people themselves in a variety of ways. For example, we were key in the development of youth forums across the city. This has meant that young people in neighbourhoods can engage with service providers and have a voice around what services they need in their areas, what they need as young people in their community. These have had a lot of different outcomes and success, from the development of parks facilities to community safety issues.
As you know, neighbourhood management look at geographical areas across Preston and are concerned with some of the social and economic features and characteristics of those areas, and particularly looking at the differences and distinctions between areas. And one emerging theme over recent years has been the health inequalities, and in its simplest, that is, people in some areas of Preston may die years earlier than in other areas of Preston. So that is a real concern for us. And obviously we aren't health practitioners, we're not in the business of diagnosing and curing illness, but we know that health and well-being cuts across lots of different agendas, across community safety agendas, the environmental agendas, housing, employment, and all those factors can contribute to more poorer outcomes in an area, health outcomes in an area. So in order to involve residents, we're taking what we're calling an asset-based approach to community development, and that is asking residents to look at what already exists in an area. For example, how local assets could be open space, parkland, community buildings, looking at other facilities in the area that may be underused or taken for granted. And if they were maximised and used better, then there could be more positive health and well-being outcomes for local people. And the one thing that we've learned from taking this asset-based approach is it's a very positive approach. and local people are actually looking around and valuing what already exists, and being able to identify it is actually empowering in itself. The other thing that goes a little bit further than looking at what community assets there are looking at people. And people are often the biggest asset in an area, and they've got the most to contribute. People who live in an area that's had its problems are often a really good source of solutions to those problems.